Mr. Hedges, why did you kill Cherie Lathan?
I never meant to.
Did you mean to rape her?
Yes.
Why?
Because I couldn't stop thinking about being with a little girl.
You are a convicted sex offender, and you were sentenced to chemical castration to control your sexual urges. Did it work?
Yes, for over 2 years.
When did those impulses begin again?
After I got out of jail, I started receiving emails from cyber loves advertising their child porn stories.
What sort of emails?
They'd show a photo of a young girl, and they invited me to find out more about her.
So you signed up?
No. I ignored them, but the emails kept coming. I tried so hard not to look.
Then why did you?
Because they kept saying, she's waiting for you. Give her what she really wants. It lit a fire in my head. I couldn't think about anything else.
So you bought the story?
Yes, the story of Janet.
And did you copy that story when you tied up and raped Cherie Lathan?
Yes. He told me exactly what to do.
Nothing further?
Mr. Hedges, you were convicted in Florida in 1999 for the sexual abuse of a 13-year-old girl. Is that correct?
Yes.
Did a story make you do that?
No.
How about when you abducted and sexually abused a 10-year-old in California in 1995? Another story to blame?
No.
What about the very first time you were attracted to young girls? Was that inspired by porn?
I don't know.
Or have you simply been attracted to young girls for as long as you can remember?
I don't know.
Mr. Hedges, aren't you desperately trying to blame someone else for your own depravity?
They kept sending me emails when I was trying to control my feelings.
Yes. So you've said. But tell me, Tommy, did you enjoy kidnapping Cherie?
Yes.
During that time, did you have second thoughts about what you were doing?
Yes.
You knew it was wrong, but still you raped and killed her. Whose fault is that?
Mine.
Thank you.
I have children myself, so the last thing I want is for a child to participate in the making of pornography. That's why we began Cyber Loves, to make a non-exploitive, legal product for people with youth preferences.
You mean pedophiles?
A small percentage of our clientele might have those predilections.
And what made Tommy Hedges act on those predilections after viewing your product?
I'm afraid I wouldn't know what motivates a murderer.
Do you make any effort at all to suppress the marketing of your virtual porn to sex offenders?
We market our product to individuals over 21 who enjoy adult entertainment.
Do you call child rape entertainment?
It isn't against the law to explore the dark side of human nature.
Mr. Billings, would you agree the purpose of pornography is to cause sexual arousal?
Yes.
And would you agree that the purpose of violent pornography is to eroticize violence?
It can have that effect.
So it would seem logical that the purpose of violent child pornography is to arouse violent sexual feelings towards children.
I don't know the research on child pornography because I don't produce it.
You produce images of child abuse.
I produce virtual pornography that provides a safe release so the user can satiate his fantasies without abusing anyone.
The truth of the matter is you don't care what your customers do as long as they continue to pay for your porn.
Objection.
Nothing further.
The defense rests, Your Honor.
Counsel approach. Mr. Billings, you may sit down.
This Cabot is nowhere near meeting the burden of proof, Your Honor. Even if the jury convicts for emotional reasons, I'll ask the court to follow the law, render a not guilty judgment.
I agree with Mr. Murdoch. Unless you can prove the defendant had prior knowledge that Mr. Hedges was likely to commit a crime, I'll have to dismiss this case with prejudice. You've got until tomorrow. We're in recess.
Tough day?
Yeah. If I don't find a smoking gun, I'm screwed.
We've been looking, Alex. We can't find what isn't there.
Billings is a businessman. He would do anything to increase his profits. I don't believe he emailed sex offenders by accident.
But if he spammed the internet, odds are he's going to find a few freaks.
You want what the ladies having?
I'll have ginger ale, thanks. As the wise man said, I can resist everything except temptation. What did I say?
Hedges said he tried to resist. I wonder just how much he was tempted. How many times did Excel email you advertisements for their porn?
I don't know.
Think, Tommy, how many?
I don't know. Maybe 50 or 60.
But you only opened one.
Yeah.
Okay. What did you do with the other ones?
Deleted them.
Did you ever ask Excel to stop emailing you?
Yeah, I did. I started selecting the opt-out option.
Opt out, what's that?
Sends an email back to the company telling them to take you off their mailing list, but it didn't work. Emails kept coming.
My company employs over 200 people to deal with the thousands who use our website. You can't expect me to know that one employee accidentally overlooked a client's request.
21 times in a row is not an accident. It's a policy. You bombarded a dangerous man with provocative images until he finally gave in.
That's a good try, Alex. But a computerized oversight is a long way from being a smoking gun. And in case you've forgotten, aggressive advertising isn't against the law.
Fine. We'll just see what the jury has to say.
I won't tell you I like what my client does for a living. I abhor it. But I will defend his right to publish pornography because the protection of free speech is vital to our Constitution. The people have made a great deal out of a handful of automated email opt-outs Mr. Hedges sent to XL Entertainment. But has she shown one shred of proof that my client had any knowledge of these messages? No, she has not. Stanley Billings published a story, a work of the imagination, a work which the Supreme Court has ruled is perfectly legal. Mr. Billings did not know Mr. Hedges. He did not know what Mr. Hedges might do. Therefore, he cannot be held responsible for what Mr. Hedges did. The law holds my client innocent. So must you. Thank you.
There is no doubt that Tommy Hedges killed Cherie Lathan. But Stanley Billings played a part in her death also. Now, each of you knows that he is morally guilty. The question you have to ask yourselves is if he is legally guilty as well. And the answer is yes. Stanley Billings put a deadly weapon in Tommy Hedges' hands, and Tommy Hedges asked him to stop. Not once, not a handful of times, but 21 times. And 21 times, Stanley Billings ignored him. Now, as chief executive officer of Excel Entertainment, he is responsible for his company's actions and his company's inaction. And when Hedges finally succumbed to Billings' hard sell tactics, Billings sold him instructions on how to stalk, kidnap, and rape a child. That makes Stanley Billings an accomplice to rape, and it makes him a facilitator of murder.
Has the jury reached a verdict?
We have, Your Honor. We find the defendant, Stanley Billings, guilty of facilitation in the murder of Cherie Latham.
Are you serious? I didn't do anything.
Hey, Stanley, take it
Okay,
easy.
but I'm innocent.
Okay.